Hey, you guys, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Goodness Gracious Podcast, Season 42, Episode 13. Y'all, it's Hump Day. Yes. Okay. Middle of the week, y'all, middle of the week. I'm kind of like, ooh, not so happy because y'all know that we are on spring break. And I'm so happy me and my daughter, we don't have to get up at 5:30. Well, I get up at 5:20. She gets up at 5:30. But she's still been getting up early. Like the other day, not the other day, the other morning I woke up to go to the bathroom and I heard somebody laughing and I'm like, who's that? I go in her room, she's on her game under her blanket and it's like it's like a quarter to 7. And I'm saying to myself, girl, why are you getting up so early? You don't have no school. Like, sleep in. So she's been getting up not as early as if she's going to school, but she's been getting up early. But baby, what I do is when she gets up, I go in her room, I get her in her sister's bed, I lay in the bed, I close my eyes, and I sleep until 10 o'clock. I'm like, girl, we're going to make this work, okay? So anyway, I don't know what's going on with the weather. Spring is trying to spring. Every time spring tries to spring, then we get some cold weather. Like the temperature is now like 40 something degrees. And it's like, wait, where is the 70s, the 75s? Spring is just fighting with winter. Like it's like a back and forth type of thing. And my daughter went to the New York Yankees game yesterday and it was really cold, and I told her, you know, these young folks, they like to dress like it's hot summertime, and it's like, girl, please don't go outside with just a hoodie. Please put your heavy coat on, or you know, dress warm, because you're gonna get to the park, you're gonna be cold. So I hope she took my advice. I haven't spoken to her yet, but there's that. Anyway, y'all, my mental check-in. I am doing great. I've been slowing down on things that I said I was going to do for this spring break. Child, I wanted to paint my living room walls. I ain't did that yet. I wanted to toss out some old clothes or give it away. I ain't did that yet. I wanted to catch up on my sewing and finish up some of these quilts that I started. Didn't even do that yet. So I just been like, I don't know. I've been in this lazy type of mode, and I got to get out of it. But I'm feeling good. I just don't want to do nothing. Like, I don't. Like, I barely wanted to cook. I made a lasagna. If y'all want to see my lasagna, y'all can go on my YouTube channel at Gracie's Quilting and Crafting Corner. Shameless plug, okay? I made a really nice lasagna, a small pan, and for my husband and I, because my daughter, she didn't want it. You know, my special needs daughter is very picky when it comes to foods. Like, she only likes chicken, burgers, fries, salmon, salad, rice, baked potatoes, and that's it. She wants no parts of the yams and the macaroni and cheese, and she might eat some rice and peas every now and then, but she don't do mac and cheese and you know, all that other stuff y'all do. She doesn't like that collard greens. So tomorrow I will bake her, well, today I will bake her some salad. Not bake her some salad, bake her some salmon. I found a piece in the freezer, so I'm going to throw it out. And then I'm going to bake it for her later. I'll probably make probably bake some potatoes, red potatoes for her. But I made a mistake and I bought the wrong size potatoes. I ordered my food off of Amazon. And so I'm seeing the red potatoes, they're like $2.49 a pound or something. I was like, oh, this is a great steal. Then when I got the damn potatoes, they small because they're organic. That's why they were cheap. I was like, oh my gosh, like, so I gotta make this work. Maybe I'll just make mashed potatoes. We'll see. But anyway, y'all, my mental check-in is that I'm feeling good and I'm feeling great, okay? So let's get into a little bit of morning chit-chat. Let's head on over to the neighborhood talk, okay? Because the neighborhood talk is reporting about this missing young boy. He was 12 years old, and after 4 years, his body was finally found, but his mother recently passed away, and she didn't, you know, before she found out that his body was found. Let's get into this, y'all, because I thought this story was really sad. We're going to play the clip, okay?
Look at the South Buffalo home where police found Jalen Griffin's body this week, nearly 4 years after the boy went missing. Authorities say they found Jalen in the attic of 107 Sheffield Avenue. This discovery sparking several questions, including who owns this house and does it have a history with police? 7 News reporters Michael Schwartz and Maki Becker amplifying a neighbor's voice tonight who says she doesn't feel safe living nearby.
Neighbors of 107 Sheffield are telling 7 News they've had concerns with the 4-unit house and the people living there for years.
That house is mainly the only issue on our street, I would say.
This neighbor did not want to be named, but tells my colleague Maki Becker and I about a troubling situation.
About a year or two ago, I was walking my son down the street, and one of the ladies living in the residence at the time chased me down with a bat.
Another neighbor says she received cell phone alerts that convicted sex offenders on the sex offender registry had moved in to 107 Sheffield. 7 News found records to confirm one of those individuals was booked in jail just 1 month ago on a new sex charge. And Maki found an ongoing lawsuit that sheds light on past problems there.
This lawsuit has to do with a tenant here who's accused of starting a fire inside the house that then spread to another house, causing $130,000 in damage.
That neighbor is suing the tenant, the property owner, Sunrise West LLC, and Spectrum Health and Human Services. According to Spectrum's website, it has a supportive housing program that works with adults and caters to high-need, high-risk individuals with co-occurring mental illness and substance abuse issues. The lawsuit claims Spectrum was negligent, careless, and/or reckless in vetting tenants. Does Spectrum Health and Human Services use this home? I called Spectrum Health and Human Services. A spokesperson would not confirm if Spectrum is assisting the people now living in the house, but told me the organization is cooperating with police investigating the murder of Jalen Griffin. Police say the body of the 12-year-old who had been missing since August of 2020 was found Friday in the attic of 107 Sheffield. If you had the option to move tomorrow, would you?
Oh, I'd move today. I just don't feel safe in my own house.
Balloons and candles are now outside the house where Jalen Griffin's body was found, as the Buffalo Police Department is continuing to investigate who is responsible for the 12-year-old's death. In Buffalo, Michael Schwartz, 7 News.
Wow, that is a sad story, but I'm confused as to did the mother die in the house where they found the body? So let me read this. Jalen's Griffin body was discovered last Friday in the attic of a residence in upstate New York. The site is around 5 miles from where he was last seen on August 4th, 2020, leaving his residence in Buffalo's Central Terminal. Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph Gramagilla stated that the body had been up there in the house for a significant amount of time. While they couldn't say exactly how long the remains have been there, dental records confirmed the boy's identification. The medical examiner deemed the death a homicide, but police did not disclose any other information about the cause of death. Jalen's 48-year-old mother, Joanne Ponzo, died in September before finding out what happened to her son. She passed away from a deteriorating heart following her son's disappearance. Police are offering $7,500 prize for information that leads to the arrest or indictment of those involved. Jalen was last seen leaving his residence in the Central Terminal area, walking his new puppy, according to his late mother. In a People's Magazine interview from 2021, his body was discovered in a home on the 100 block of Sheffield Avenue, just a short drive away. I do want to extend my sincerest sympathies to the family of Jalen, Mr. Gramagilla said. This department has conducted extensive searches, and I want Jalen's family to know that we are working diligently to bring the next closure for the family. Neighbors, this is a building story, and we will keep you updated. We would also like to send prayers to Jalen's family and friend. That's such a sad story. They're saying a man owns the house, and they're also saying that that body wasn't the first body of that young man that was found at 107 Sheffield Avenue. So I went over to WIVB TV, and we're going to listen to this news clip right here because they have more about Jalen and how his body wasn't the first body that was found. Let's give it a listen, y'all. Okay, hold on.
Scores uncovered new disturbing developments about the house where 12-year-old Jalen Griffin was found dead.
The discovery that Jalen Griffin's wasn't the first body found at that South Buffalo home comes as a vigil for him is getting underway. News 4's Patrick Ryan is there now. Patrick?
Don and Jackie, that vigil for Jalen Griffin getting underway right now here at the Central Terminal. You can see many members of the community and family with shirts and balloons reading "Justice for Jalen Griffin" behind me. But in the shadow of this memorial, questions still loom about the house Jalen Griffin was found in. Through police logs, News 4's learned that there were 4 separate calls for dead bodies across 4 years at 107 Sheffield Avenue.
COA 107 Sheffield, body's been there a while.
These 911 logs reveal the troubled past at 107 Sheffield Avenue in South Buffalo. More than 160 complaints have been made to police since 2007. Those include domestic violence, fire, and mental health calls, to calls regarding the discovery of dead bodies. According to Buffalo police records obtained by News 4, a welfare check in June of 2020 turned up a dead body at the multi-unit house. Then, in September of 2022, a dead body call resulted in an arrest. We requested further information on if a dead body was actually discovered from this call. And nearly 1 year later, in August of 2023, a dead body was found in the yard of 107 Sheffield. And most recently, on April 12th, the nearly 4-year search for 12-year-old Jalen Griffin came to an end when he was found dead in the attic of that Sheffield Avenue home. Neighbors who would not go on camera tell News 4 they've seen several different tenants over the years come and go from the property. In fact, one neighbor has an active lawsuit against the owner of 107 Sheffield, Sunrise West, LLC, a tenant there, and Spectrum Health and Human Services, alleging negligence which led to property damage. The suit alleges the tenant was placed there in the apartment through Spectrum Health and Human Services. A spokesperson for Spectrum tells us they cannot comment on pending litigation, but are cooperating with authorities investigating 107 Sheffield. We also reached out to the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision to see if the South Buffalo home is used as a halfway house. A spokesperson tells us they do not have a housing contract with the landlord. However, they believe parolees have lived at the house in the past. As for the landlord, Sunrise West LLC, little is known about the company registered to a Hamburg post office box. We have a call to their lawyer and are waiting to hear back. We'll have much more from the vigil for Jalen Griffin coming up on News 4 at 10 and 11.
Wow. I would be scared to live on that block with that home. I'm sorry. Because who owns the house? 4 dead bodies within a span of years found at the house? And why wasn't this, major news? Because and how did they come across his body? Did somebody tip the police off and told them, there's a body in the attic? Because how would the police know to go to the house to, and to find a body? This is crazy, y'all. I feel so bad for this young boy. He was only 12 years old. He was a baby. He was walking his dog. And his mother died without even knowing what happened to her son. She just knew that he disappeared. He was missing, but there was no closure for her or him. And this is really sad, Oh my God, I feel so bad for the family. I was reading some of the comments in the neighborhood talk, right? And someone said they went on YouTube. Someone said, just watch a YouTube dedicated to the story. The boy goes missing, then months later, his 18-year-old brother was killed. 3.5 years later, his mom dies, still believing the son is out there. And 9 months after her death, they found his body in the attic. 5 miles from the location where he was last seen. My God. Oh my God. The mother been through so much. So much. So much. Because her youngest son went missing. And then her 18-year-old son was killed. And then she died after that. Wow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Did I say he was 12? People are saying he was 8. I'm sorry if I made a mistake with his age. Another thing, nobody smelled the body decomposing? Wow. I wouldn't want to live on that block. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Someone said I wouldn't be surprised if them being reunited was how his body was recovered. She is reunited with her son, and this case finally has an ending. Someone said he passed away during the pandemic. The pandemic started in March. I was always worried about children who had to stay home with any abusive adults during that time. Well, we don't know because we don't know if he was abused or anything because he went out to walk his dog. So, someone said his mom died of a broken heart. Oh, this is such a sad story. And $7,500 is not a lot of money. My God, y'all couldn't come up with $100,000? Jeez. But I guess. So let's talk about this Georgia woman. She was arrested for intentionally drowning her dog by putting heavy rocks in his cage. What? Child. I'm going to read the article and then I'll play the news clip. Neighbors, Cobb County, Georgia investigators claim that the owner of the dog intentionally killed it in what they described as a horrifying example of animal cruelty. According to WSB TV2, the dog was found dead over a year ago in the Paces Mill area. Investigators claim Tamara Rogo brought her dog to the Chattahoochee River with what they claim were malicious intentions. So we're going to play the clip, the news clip. People out here, child, people out here. Let's get into it, okay?
Animal abuse. A woman drowned her dog in a river. Tonight she's in jail. Channel 2 Cobb County Bureau Chief Michelle Newell live along the Chattahoochee River. Michelle, this case has been open for nearly a year.
Yeah, George, and investigators say that suspect wasn't out here to walk her dog like we see many pet owners do at a nearby trail. They said she showed up with evil intentions when she brought a cage, her dog, and several rocks. Now, investigators say it took a while for the necropsy report to come back because there are so many animal cruelty cases that sadly have horrible endings.
Anybody that would do something like this is straight evil. I mean, this is torture. To drown a dog, to not bring it to us and give us an opportunity to get a new home was heartbreaking.
It's an unimaginable crime, a horrific animal cruelty case centered around this woman. Tamara Rogo is in jail, accused of causing the death of her own dog.
The dog was found in the Chattahoochee River, Paces Mill area. It was found by some of the river folks.
Investigators say the English bulldog was in a cage, weighted down with rocks in the river.
We've weighed these. It's about 8 pounds worth of rocks.
After nearly 1 year of hard work, Cobb County Animal Services Director Steve Hammond says his team cracked the case.
First, we had to wait on our necropsy, which is the autopsy on the animal, to come back. Those have been delayed for us because there have been so many, unfortunately.
Hammond says his animal cruelty investigator has been swamped with animal cruelty cases, but he finally found the leads he needed to crack this case.
He's been found in the streets. He's been into Atlanta looking for the owner of the dog. We did find a microchip in the dog, which allowed us to provide a lead for us.
And Fogo is still in jail tonight because a Cobb County judge denied bond. Live from Cobb County, Michelle Newell, Channel 2.
Child. Girl, why didn't you just let the dog go? I don't get it. Just open the cage, let the dog be free. Now, one thing can be certain. Maybe it's mental disease because I don't understand why she just didn't let the dog go. Like, you didn't even have to do all of this. So I have to chalk it up to mental illness. Or someone said in the comments, I was reading something in the comments. Someone said, girl, you should have opened the door and let that dog find a home of its own. Yeah, that's what I said. Someone said, no bail, yet the cop who 13-month-old is out on bail. Well, you know, this country is very, very, y'all know how they feel about these they animals. Don't mess with animals in this country, y'all. Don't mess with animals. They're going to throw the book at her. Someone says she's going to get life without parole. The Pales don't play about animals. They sure don't. I don't know what she was thinking, but girl, they finna put you under the grave, girl. I just don't get what's going on with people. What is happening? Let's move on to something a little bit less heavy, you know. Let's talk about Tiffany Haddish. Let's head on over to the Jasmine brand. Hashtag Tiffany Haddish is letting people in on her tactic for handling her critics. During a recent appearance at the University of Southern California, the 44-year-old comedian spoke during a panel for her upcoming book, I Curse You with Joy. I don't know why she's not canceled, but while at the event, Tiffany Haddish shared that she was using a fake account via X, formerly Twitter, to address social media users who bash her. The actress jokingly said during the panel, and then the internet came out and people got the freedom to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and now I wish I was back to being illiterate again. Girl, she went on, so people show me to talk about me. I don't know why y'all talking about me so damn much, but that's okay. I like to talk about you too. How about that? Why is this lady attacking me? You talk about what goes around comes around. Don't worry. Tiffany Haddish didn't confirm whether she had a Finsta, which is a fake Instagram account. She added, I don't know about fake Instagram, but I definitely got fake Twitter. I mean a fake X. The stand-up comedian was a previous talked about topic in the media after she received 2 DUIs in less than 2 years. Back in November, the entertainer was found asleep in the driver's seat of her vehicle following a night of partying in Beverly Hills. Haddish was formally charged on December 13. In January 2022, she was arrested in Georgia for the same thing. So we know a lot of celebrities do this, but why are you telling us this? See, she talks so much. She has a big mouth. But I get what she's trying to say, because it gives her authority or some kind of power to, if someone is talking about her, for her to go back at the person and remain anonymous. But, girl, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't see it for Tiffany Haddish no more. Not after I seen that, the skit with the little boy. I'm trying. Anyway, let's talk about ADRIANNE BAILON. She says she spent over $1 million on IVF treatments over 6 years before welcoming her first child via surrogate. Wow. And he's a cutie. Let's get into it. ADRIANNE BAILON and husband Israel Houghton spent over 7 figures on IVF over several years, trying to conceive before ultimately opting for a surrogate to welcome their 1-year-old son, Eber James. I only did 8 cycles of IVF, but that doesn't include the amount of IUIs I did and every kind of imaginable treatments that you could imagine for fertility, the Real host shared with People. So it was a pretty tough 6 years of trying to have my son. Wow. She continued. When asked about the estimated total of all the treatments, BAILON mentioned they spent easily over $1 million. The former cheetah girl also acknowledged that spending that amount of money is not realistic for the average person. The average person? What? You mean the average rich person? BAILON and her husband discreetly welcomed their son in August 2022 after keeping the pregnancy hidden from the public. We have quietly prayed while sitting on this most magnificent secret for the last 9 months. She shared on Instagram at the time, along with the photo of the new family of 3. How high a priority is becoming apparent for you. Listen, people do what they got to do. If she wanted to be a parent and she has the money to spend on IVF, listen, do it. I don't have no qualms about it. A lot of people were saying, that's a lot of money, but compared to having the child, the money means nothing. Nothing. Because if being a mother is her biggest goal, then that's what she's going to go after to achieve. If she has to put the money out there to achieve motherhood, then she's going to do that. And I don't have no, I feel like good for her, but I just wish that, some women, you could do the IVF, okay? And even if it works and you want more children, think about adopting a baby, because there's a lot of kids in the system that needs a home, okay? And I know a lot of people don't want to have, adopt past, I would say, 10 years of age, because after 10 or maybe 5, it's hard to get that child to, it's hard to mold them into the way that you want to. I get that. Or maybe not. Who knows? You might just get a beautiful 5-year-old who listens to you, and you can shape them into the child that you want them to be. And, but they do come with issues. They do come with maybe some problematic parents who still want to be in their life. I know someone personally who is in the process of adopting a child, and the parents are still in the picture, and it's getting to the point where they just might default their rights because they're not showing up and visiting with the child. So she's close to becoming the parent of the child, the adoption and everything. So, and then I get it. Adoption can be it could be a struggle also there, because sometimes these adoption agencies, they do that fine tooth kind of like looking and making sure you are right, because they just don't want to place a child with anybody. Someone said this is why I think people telling women they can wait until their mid to late 30s to have kids is disingenuous. It's definitely possible, but it's going to cost you, and most people don't have that kind of money. Yeah, now they're saying that women should opt on freezing their eggs if you're between 25 and 30, and you are career goals mind, you're into your career and you want to work, and then when you get ready, say at 35, you got your career, you're set, then you can get the do the artificial insemination process. So I get that. Or freeze your eggs. I think Candace Dillard, she did the same thing. She was freezing. Was she freezing her eggs? Yeah, she did. I think she did the what did she do? She did the IVF too, or the IUIs. I don't know, but I can't remember. But yeah, so they're saying most women, young women, should freeze their eggs while they're pursuing their career. So, because women have a ticking, we have a clock, we have a biological clock, whereas men don't. Men have thousands and thousands and thousands of sperms. Well, not every man, but most men. That's why you see them old 80-year-old men having kids. What's his name? Recently, what's the dude's name? The actor, Robert De Niro. Yep. Someone said, unpopular opinion, if it doesn't happen easy, that's God saying no, and you should stop pushing it. No, I don't think so. Someone said, nope, if there were so, God wouldn't give man the knowledge to know, create ways to do that. That's not easy. Yeah, I think I'm so happy for her. I like Adrienne Bailon. I always thought that, even on the real, she might have been a little corny, but you could tell that she always wanted to be a mother, and this is her moment. She got her baby, and I'm so happy for her. Let's move on. Talk about Meg Thee Stallion. She's being sued, okay? A former cameraman for Meg Thee Stallion, Emilio Garcia, who alleges that he was trapped inside a moving vehicle with the hip-hop star in a foreign country while she had sex with a woman, has filed a lawsuit accusing the entertainer of harassment and a hostile work environment. Included in the suit filed Tuesday, Garcia says after the alleged he was warned, don't ever discuss what you saw, and berated, fat-shamed, and treated differently by Megan. The harassment was so severe or pervasive that it created a hostile, abusive work environment that made Garcia's working conditions intolerable, the suit says. The suit seeks unpaid wages as well as interest on the unpaid wages, unpaid overtime wages, and other employees' benefits at the legal rate. He is also seeking statutory penalties and wage penalties pursuant to California labor laws punitive damages according to proof and costs he incurred, including attorney fees. Oh boy, Megan, I don't know. Megan needs to keep her circle. Do these people sign NDAs around in her circle? Because I feel like she needs to do that, because it's just every time she tries to move on from this whole Tory Lanez and get her life together, here goes somebody wanting to sue her. You know what I would do if I was Meg Thee Stallion? I would pay him off. I would pay him off, and then I would gag him so he can't talk about anything. I would pay him off and gag that mother. You can never ever talk about me, ever. Oh my God. So someone said funny how she uses Rock Nation lawyers, but she's so independent. Alex been with Rock Nation for years. Oh God. Someone said when the hating don't work, they start telling lies. I don't even know if it's lies or truth or whatever. I don't know. Someone else said he didn't say she didn't put him down as an employee, but an independent contractor, so he couldn't get health care. We knew he wanted money from the jump. What? He didn't say she didn't put him down as an employee, but an independent contractor, so he couldn't get health care. We knew he wanted money from the jump. Someone said, I'm sure he did read it, but I'm also sure he didn't think that was going to be the situation, which is how issues come about. He isn't the only person she did wrong. Everybody didn't just not read the contract. Be for real. I don't know. I just feel like if Rock Nation is handling, I was going to say Beyonce, Meg Thee Stallion, then they need to call her into the office and really sit this young lady down, okay, and have a good talk with her. And she needs to tighten her circle. She needs to get NDAs, because I don't know, maybe she did, but it's just like, I feel bad for Megan. Every time she tried to take one step forward, she has to step back. And I don't know. And then everybody's going to run with it. Oh, she's a horrible person. She falls out with everybody. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, leave the girl alone. So 50 Cent, he entered the chat, and this is what he had to say. He said, 50 Cent says the photographer suing Meg Thee Stallion should be punched in the head. Ciao. Case thrown out. Oop. 50 Cent said this cameraman and the lawyer who made this claim should be punched in the head. I'm sorry. 2 women start making out. I'm not offended. This case is thrown out of my court at Branson Cognac at, I don't know. I can't pronounce that. Someone said workplace sexual harassment is real. If you are uncomfortable with others' sexual activities and conversations, you can report this and also sue if nothing is done. Someone said, how was he forced, asking for clarity? I don't know. But Meg's lawyer did came out. He did say something. I seen it somewhere around here. I seen it. Let me see. Was it on the Shade Room where her lawyer put a brief statement out? Yeah, here's her lawyer. Her lawyer said, Meg Thee Stallion's attorney releases statement after former photographer accuses her of harassment. Okay, so her lawyer said, this is an employment claim for money with no sexual harassment claim filed and with salacious accusation to attempt to embarrass her. We will deal with this in court. Yeah, if it's a sexual harassment, where is is he suing for sexual harassment? Is a claim filed for sexual harassment? Damn, I'm messing up my words. Oh gosh. Someone said one thing a photographer didn't get was photo evidence. I don't know. Good luck to both of them. Hopefully they can work it out. And I feel bad for her. I feel like, like I said before, every time she tries to move forward, oh, Megan. I want Megan to stop the drinking. I thought she was over the drinking, but okay. So let's talk about Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark got a deal. She's reportedly set to sign a Nike deal valued at $28 million over 8 years. Girl got the bag, honey, according to the Shade Room. Okay, the hashtag Indiana Fever's newest edition, hashtag Caitlin Clark, is getting to the bag. The number one overall pick in the WNBA draft will continue her association with hashtag Nike by reportedly signing a $28 million contract per multiple reports. The contract will span over 8 years and includes a signature shoe. Okay. The at WSJ and at the athletic headquarters reported that the pending deal, citing unnamed people familiar with the negotiations between the sportswear's giant and Clark's agents. Other companies wanted the star, and reports state Clark reportedly received over $16 million over 4 years from Under Armour, as well as a $16 million over 4 years from Adidas, both including a signature shoe. Clark's new deal with Nike would be the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. Wow. What about Angel Reese? Why isn't she getting anything? I don't understand this. Someone said Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, and Teresa Witherspoon all crawled with no legs so she could run on their backs and cash in. It better be shirts and jersey because her own kicks won't sell at all. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Black female WNBA players have paved the way, and they never got no type of deals and stuff like that. And this is just, I'm not taking nothing away from Caitlin, but it's really just black and white. If you want to be real about it, it's black and white, because how is she getting all of this? And, there were other, WNBA, black female basketball players who did just as well, and they wasn't rewarded like this. This is crazy. She earned it, but it is given white privilege. I'm sorry. Someone said, unfortunately, other black players don't get these types of deals because the black community doesn't elevate them enough. The entire state of Iowa rode with her to the top, even when she took 30 plus shots. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think so. It's just it is what it is. It's a black and white issue. Okay. Someone said, I'm sick of y'all bringing up race. Let her have her wins. She's talented as well. Nobody is taking away from her talent. Nobody's taking away from her talent. It's just kind of insane that she's getting all these deals, and there were other athletes, female basketball players, who were better, if not better than her, and they didn't get rewarded the same way. But and you have that. I understand now that Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark are responsible for for the viewership when it comes to women's basketball, but still. Someone said Caitlin jersey sold out completely last week when she got drafted in one day. She sold more jerseys in one day than the Dallas Cowboys sold all year. And y'all questioning why she got this size deal. Y'all, you can't be serious. It's simple economics. Angela Reese people are negotiating with a company right now too, guaranteed. They was probably waiting to see numbers Caitlin got so she can set the market. She gonna get a bigger deal than any WNBA girl too. They sell out arenas and bring viewers and money. Now I have to admit that Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese have brought in the viewers and the money for women's black basketball. Before, nobody used to talk about women's basketball, but they're still not getting paid as much as the NBA, the men, and that's still kind of messed up, because to me, it seems like women's basketball is taking on this big phenomenon, and now it's being talked about. People are, fans are wanting to go to the games, and they have done a lot to turn this whole WNBA, thing around. So, sport around. So Someone said we can stick to talking about black folks and black excellence. Black women have the largest wage gaps, are underpaid in every profession. So this ain't a surprise. Yeah, that's true too. Someone said 2 black teams beat her back to back. So why is she getting all this praise for losing? White privilege at its finest. It's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to that. But I don't take nothing away from her. This girl, she's bad. She's bad, but you know, it is what it is. And it's, like I said, black and white. Okay, black and white. Anyway, congratulations, Caitlin Clark. Okay. Let's talk about Chingy before I get on out of here. Chingy talks about how false rumors with Sydney Star impacted his career. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Sorry.
When the individual apologized and it so-called went away, which it took years to blow away. Nah, man, ain't nothing good happened from that for me. I'm gonna tell you that. When an artist such as my caliber, who sold millions of records, who was once one of the biggest artists in the world, they look at that different. If they not seeing you at these award shows all the time, on the radio all the time, they like, well, where's he at? What's wrong? But what was wrong was a lot of sabotaging and bull crap in this industry.
You guys never really made up, did you? Like, you accepted her apology, but you kind of kept it moving.
Yeah. There's no, I mean, to be honest with you, man, like, it was spilt milk, and I lost a lot from it. That person gained. I'm not gonna hold on to something. It is what it is. Apologize, cool. I'm going this way. Let that individual do their thing, and a lot of stuff, man. But that situation, that hurt my career. Like, I'm just gonna be honest about it. Wow. It really did. With that being said, what inspired New Beginnings is I'm a guy who looks to nature for a lot of answers. And when I say that, just like the cycle of winter going into summer, you know, and things die in the winter, but they be reborn in the spring, and you see it being vibrant, it's living again, but it's a constant process. So with human life, I go through things, you go through things, but guess what? It's gonna come a time where we're gonna be back vibrant and we're gonna be back going, and that's one of them times now. You know what I'm saying? For me. And so nature gives me inspiration. And so Friday on the 19th, I'm dropping New Beginnings. Okay. And it's a beautiful thing.
In 2020.
But it is. With me, competition causes division. That's with me. And we all seen that nothing ever really happens good from these type of situations. We can always go back to Tupac and Biggie, but it's several other artists that didn't pass because of stuff like this. But to me, grown men who are very successful, it's just like, it's time to cut it out. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, coming from where I come from, when it's rapping over a beat, talking about people mamas and this and that, when we see each other, it's not gonna be good. So I just don't see it being competitive, just rapping when people talk about people mamas and mothers and these type of disrespectful things. Mm-hmm. But like I said, as grown men and as successful men, it's pointless to me.
Okay, so that was the rapper Chingy. He was referring back to the controversy that happened in 2010 when a photo of Chingy and Star, and if y'all don't know, Star is a trans woman. They took a photo together. It went viral, and Star had folks believing that herself and Chingy was in a relationship, and he said it hurt his career because after that, you know, the companies were like backing off, because back then, you know, trans women weren't being accepted. We're just now in a place, I think after maybe that was in 2010, maybe about 2020 when people start, because back then there still was this stigma about, you know, trans women and the LGBTQ plus community. They were still trying to get through doors and, you know, be accepted. He's trying to say that she ruined his career when she took that photo and made it seem like he was in a relationship with her, and people knew that at the time that was a trans woman. And so I could see what he's saying, because if you're basing this rapper off of masculinity, and here you have this masculine straight rapper being tied to or associated with a trans woman, some of these companies at that time are not going to be accepted of it. And he lost a lot. He said he lost his career, and it's pretty messed up. Even though Star has apologized to him, he still, it still hurts. You lost money, your career. So apology is an apology, but still. Someone said hopefully the whole hip hop community supports your project when it drops, because nobody's career gets sabotaged by lies more than a black man in this world. Stay strong. As you can see, the attack on the brothers' characters and careers are at an all-time high. Right now, praying for you and other brothers and sisters that feel victim to slander and lies. Someone said he had us in a chokehold. I like it when you do it right there. I like it when you do it right there. Okay. Chicken head and throwback jerseys. Someone said, can we talk about his skin though? Yeah, Chingy's skin looks beautiful in this video. Someone said that woman ruined his career. Someone said, okay, one of the biggest artists in the world was a stretch. LOL, let's not get carried away now. He's looking good, youthful though. He was just coming up. Someone said he handled it with class and honor. No disrespect to Sydney or anyone else. Just saw it as water under the bridge and keeping it moving. All love for Chingy. Well, you can see it as water under the bridge and keeping it moving, because it didn't happen to your career. Someone said it sounds like a lot of personal growth. Okay. Yeah, well, I feel bad for him. And this video was courtesy of Bowler Alert and the comments. I feel like, he suffered a lot, and it really damaged his career personally and financially. And I think people are not understanding that part. Even though he has forgiven her, accepted her apology, it's still, damn, it's no telling where his career could have been at right now if she hadn't, put out that lie. You know what I mean? So, yeah, y'all. Yeah, so, all right, y'all. All right, so they're saying Deb's house is going to be premiering. Waka Flocka's mom is going to have a show called Deb's Mom, where she is going to be, I guess, helping young rappers, female rappers. It's coming out in June. I'll be watching. I'm a reality TV head. So yeah, I'll be watching. I'll be tuning in. Okay. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to the Goodness Gracious podcast. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, safe Wednesday. We'll talk soon. Bye.